Hey guys, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video today on the channel. It's been a couple days without an upload and I apologize for that. I've been working on other stuff, but I'm definitely going to get back into uploads. Right now I'm in the works of doing a realistic rebuild for the New York Giants, as well as going through X Factors for Madden 21, my predictions for those. So those videos should be coming out soon. But I definitely wanted to put out a video at least today. Might be another double upload today, I'm not sure, but I at least want to get through this one today and at least be able to put something out. And we're going to be going through an old-fashioned tier list. We're going to be doing NFL quarterbacks if you haven't been able to see on the screen already. So we got a couple categories. Elite, which is going to be the best of the best. Borderline elite, which is like the very good quarterbacks, maybe on the edge of superstardom. Above average is just a solid starter. You know, they're good for their team. Average is, you know, they maybe have potential to be. Maybe they're new to the league. Maybe they're just good. Unknown is we know pretty much nothing about this guy yet. We don't know where he's going to be. And then below average and replaceable is just bad. They're not going to be a starter for long. So we have a lot of quarterbacks here. So we'll be able to look and see where we think these guys are going to be. But overall, I mean, I think it's going to be fun. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you do like these videos, I can try and get other tier lists going. If you like the quizzes as well, I can do those as well. But like I said, I like doing videos like this. I think they're fun to do. And pretty much let's get started with there. And the first guy on the list is actually a really good one, Alex Smith. And that's kind of hard to, I'm putting him in the unknown category. And I think it's a good way to start because really we don't know where he's at. Based on the last time he played, he would be in the above average quarterback tier for me, because I think that he was a very good quarterback. He was a game manager. He was getting better with age, which was good to see. But now, you know, he's up there in age. He hasn't played in a while. He's had the horrific leg injury. You know, it's going to be hard for him to come back and play football again. So if he does this season, I'd love to see it. But right now, we don't know where he's at. Then we have Josh Allen. And I'm going to put him at above average, and he might end up at borderline elite by the end of this video, honestly. Because he has done he's made a big step in from his first year to his second year. He looked very good his rookie year. I liked what he was getting out of college. I really liked just how he was in the situation with him. But him going into the season with Stephon Diggs is just a match made in heaven. He's got a great running back in Singletary. I think they hit the jackpot with Singletary in the draft. So I think that's very good. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think that's just he's so close to being a borderline elite, in my opinion. I think he's right there at the top of the above average quarterback list. Then we have Baker Mayfield. Now, as of right now, I'm putting him in the average category. And the reason I'm doing this is because he didn't show much last year. When you look at where he is right now as a quarterback, I was expecting a lot more in his second year. I really was. That could be because of coaching, and maybe that's better now with Stefanski there. But we'll see coming into this year. But I think that at this moment in time, he's not a bad quarterback. He's not replaceable yet, but after the season, he might be, or he could be a borderline elite after the season. This is really a make or break year for Baker. The offense has never been better. His line has never been better. I mean, this is a spot for him to shine, and I hope he can do that. Then we're looking into Big Ben here, and I'm going to put him at above average. Personally, I think he's going to be in the average category this year, but he's still Big Ben. He's still able to stand tall in the pocket, make good throws under pressure. He's able to let the ball fly for 400 yards a game. He's not scared to throw interceptions. He has a slinger mentality, which is good. So overall, he's an above average quarterback, and there's nothing to say that's bad about him. Then we get our first elite quarterback, and that is Drew Brees. I mean, this guy, like fine wine, is just getting better each year, it seems like. He's playing at the top of his game. Unfortunately, injuries has been a factor, which kind of sucks, but you know, when he's healthy, he's been playing very well. I hope he has another healthy year this season. It's probably going to be his last season, in my opinion. I think they got Jameis to learn behind him and then give Jameis a big payday next year. But I like what he has right now. I really think that he is one of the best quarterbacks in football and one of the best of all time. I'm very glad that I was able to see him play throughout his career, so this is a good spot for him to be in. Then we have Cam Newton. Now, Cam Newton is an unknown right now, but I'm going to put him in below average and replaceable. And here's the reason why. One, he did get replaced. That's main factor number one. But two, even when he was healthy, he was never a great quarterback, like throwing the ball wise. His accuracy was a little shaky. But what made him so great was his ability to extend the play, his ability to run for 100+ yards a game, and his ability to use his frame to be a big body quarterback. He didn't have to slide. He was able to juke people out and run them over. I mean, he was able to do a lot with his feet. So when you look at where he's at now, when he's had the injuries that he's had with his shoulder, and he's had the injury with his foot or something, right? It's like it's going to be hard for him to come back and still have the same running mentality that you see from a guy like Lamar Jackson nowadays. So right now, because he got replaced, he's down here, but right now he's a below average quarterback. He hasn't been signed. I hope that he does get signed. I think that the league's a lot more fun when Cam Newton's a quarterback, but as of right now, Cam Newton is at the bottom of the list for these guys. Then we go to Derek Carr, and I'm going to put Derek Carr at average. I'm going to put him ahead of Baker Mayfield, but I think that he has all the tools to be a very good quarterback. He's shown that he had an MVP-type caliber season, but he hasn't really been able to find that niche back since then. I mean, the offensive line is doing very well, in my opinion. I think that they're going to do very well in Las Vegas. He's got great weapons now. They've spent a lot of draft capital on offense, so I'm excited to see what they're going to get from Derek Carr here, and I think that he might be able to move up to above average, even borderline elite this season if he has a great year, and I think that's something he can do. Then we go to Kirk Cousins, and Vikings fans might be a little bit mad about this one, but I'm putting him in the average category. He's what you would call a stat pattern, and it shows. He's able to win games, but he's not known to win games. I think he won like his first primetime game this year in his NFL career. He's able to get those plays, but he's not very good at reading defenses, in my opinion. I mean, you saw if you were Stephon Diggs' fantasy owner, you understood how bad it was that Diggs would be wide open, but he would stick with his one read. It would go from Thielen, or he'd check it down. He's not looking to make plays, and that's something I'd want from my quarterback, especially for how much they're paying him. So is he able to get you 8 wins at least? Yes, 100%. Is that more or less because of the surrounding talent? I think so, and that's why I have him at the top of the average. He's borderline above average, but I think that he's good. Jameis Winston, now the backup for Drew Brees. I'm putting him at average. He's a gunslinger. He's able to throw the ball very well. It's just he throws way too many damn picks, man. I mean, like very, very many picks, and that's a big problem. Not all of them are his fault, but a lot of them are definitely his fault. So learning behind Drew Brees will be very good for Jameis Winston. I'm excited for him to do that. Then we have Dak Prescott, and this one is a borderline elite for me. Being able to watch Dak Prescott in my division has been, a little frustrating because he has proven again that he's a very good quarterback. He deserves to get paid 100%. They should have signed him before last season when he was asking for like 30, 32. Now he's asking for more because he went out there and he had a career year. He was throwing the deep ball better than he's ever thrown it before. Now he has an offense to throw to. I mean, this guy is going to be dangerous. He's able to extend the play with his feet. He's not necessarily just a pocket passer. Even though he has a great arm in the pocket, he's able to get out of the pocket and literally truck people over, which is a good quality to have. Him and Zeke have been perfect together since they entered the league together. I really like what Dak Prescott does. I think that he's a borderline elite quarterback. I think he doesn't get the respect he deserves at that, but I think he's a borderline elite. Then we go over to not Ryan Fitzpatrick, Sam Darnold, I believe here. Yeah, is this Sam Darnold? There's no where the Jets went. Yeah, Sam Darnold. He's average right now. He's close to below average, but he's average right now. I think that he should have a better year this year. Adam Gase didn't help him last year, but I think that he is solid. I think that he's a good quarterback. I think he has potential to be a quarterback that lasts till 32 years old, and then like Andy Dalton kind of gets fizzled out. But he has some good years ahead of him. I think he does have his best years ahead of him. He can't get any worse than what it was last year, in my opinion. But he has shown flashes, and I like to see him make that next step this year. Eli Manning is still on here, which we're putting him below average, replaceable. He's a legend, Hall of Famer for sure, but it's just he's not in the game anymore, and also he was replaceable at the end of his career. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's an average quarterback, man. If you're trying to tank, you can't have Ryan Fitzpatrick on your team because this guy will literally win you a lot of games. I mean, he cannot go out there and just lose games. He's able to throw for 400 and 5 touchdowns pretty much anytime he steps on the field. So I really like what Ryan Fitzpatrick brings to a team. I'm glad he's in a situation like Miami right now where they have a solid team and a quarterback where maybe they need to spend some time to figure out, hey, is this guy going to be our quarterback day one? And that's something that he can definitely figure out with them, and he's there to fill out what he can. He can do well for them. So I'm excited to see what he can do next year if he does get another job at the starting job. Nick Foles, I'm putting him at below average right now, right by Cam Newton. I'm putting him ahead of Cam Newton, but he goes out there and wins playoff games, big games. I agree, but it's just like he got replaced by Gardner Minshew. The injury didn't help him. He's known for not being able to be a starter. Every time he gets paid to be a starter, he's never performed, and that's really what it is. He's a great backup. That's what he is. He's a great backup. He should not be a starting quarterback, but he is an amazing backup to have. Then we have Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff's above average, right? I think it's very close to being average, but I think that he fits the Rams system perfectly. He's able to make the throws that they ask him to make. He's able to do what they want him to do, and that's really all you can ask for Jared Goff to do. I really like what they have from him. I'm excited to see what he has in this next year. Obviously, with them not having Brandon Cooks and Todd Gurley is going to be a little weird, but overall, I think that this is a solid fit for him to be in Los Angeles still. I like what Jared Goff brings to the team. I think that he fits them perfectly, and that's why he's an above-average quarterback. Matt Ryan, I'm going to put him at... I'm at bottom of above average, right behind Jared Goff. It's close to being average. He's not shown everything that he used to. He needs to throw the ball to Julio more. He's really not doing it much. But this offense looks really fun next year. They got Hayden Hurst instead of Austin Hooper, so maybe they'll be able to translate Hayden Hurst's career into something special. But he's been a very good, solid quarterback for a long time, and I think that Falcons fans are appreciative that he's been there. But when you look at it, I mean, how much more can he do? I don't know, and that's really what it is. Is he gonna age? Is he gonna age well, or is he gonna regress? And we haven't really seen a huge regression, but he definitely hasn't looked like he has just a few years ago. So I think that right now he's at the bottom of about average, but he's right on the brink of falling down. Then we got Jimmy G. Jimmy G, it's kind of like Jared Goff. I think he's a game manager. I think he's perfect for the system that they run. I think that he's just able to be put in the best scenario with the offense he has there with Shanahan as well. So above average, I think he's, like I said, fits it well. If he was in a different system other than the Patriots and the 49ers, I don't think he would be as well. Same with Jared Goff, but there's that. Joe Flacco is below average and replaceable as well. I think that he could be a starter still and be like a below average, be a below average starter, yeah. But I don't know. I think it's just time for him to call it a career, and I'm not sure if he actually has announced it or not. But then we have Drew Lock here. I'm putting Drew Lock in the unknown category because as great of a season as he had last year, he only really played like 5 games. He wasn't. I think it was more than 5 games, but he wasn't fully out there. We don't really have a great look at what he is. He had a great season. Right now, if I had to rate him just off of that, he would be at pretty much the top of the average category because he had a very good rookie year. But we have to see what he does next year. He didn't really have a full set around him. He wasn't really put in a situation where he was supposed to succeed. He was kind of there to learn for a year, but he went out there and he did well. Then we have Lamar Jackson. He's going to be in the elite category. He needs to work on his arm. His arm is not good. He's not very accurate. But he's able to make plays, man. And he was a unanimous MVP. I mean, you can't not say he's an elite quarterback in the league because he is. His ability to run is insane, though. I'll give him that. Then we got Phillip Rivers here, below average for me. Phillip Rivers has been carried the past few years, and it's apparent, but he really hasn't been able to do much. And I think that maybe in Indianapolis he'll be good, but he really, I don't know. He talks a big game, but he is not the most accurate quarterback anymore. He makes some bad decisions. He throws some big picks. He doesn't show up in the biggest games. Anytime they make the playoffs, he seems to just not show up. So I'm putting him in the below average quarterback. I think that he could be an average quarterback, but like looking at this, would I rather have Phillip Rivers or Ryan Fitzpatrick? I mean, honestly, in my honest opinion, I think it'd be Ryan Fitzpatrick for going into the season. So, I mean, yes, Phillip Rivers is a legend. I think that he had an amazing career, but I thought it was time for him to call it quits, and he went to Indianapolis. We'll see what happens, but yeah, that's where I'm at. Andrew Luck, obviously here, he's going to be in the unknown category. Is he an elite quarterback? 100%, but we don't know where he is. We don't know if he's ever going to play football again, so he's going to be in the unknown category. Marcus Mariota, that's below average and replaceable as well. I think he's going to be a good backup in Las Vegas. Hopefully that he can have some reps. Maybe if Carr unfortunately gets injured, maybe Mariota can step in there, have a few good games, maybe get a contract somewhere else and see what they can do. But I think that Mariota might just be a backup for the rest of his career, which is unfortunate for the former number 2 overall pick. Then we got Mitchell Trubisky here. I'm putting him in the average category. I'm not putting him below average. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's been put in such a weird situation. I mean, you've got to think, this guy was in the Pro Bowl not too long ago. He was a Pro Bowl alternate, ended up going into the Pro Bowl. It's really been Matt Nagy's offense just not being tailored to him. I mean, they've made some really bad signings. They signed Trey Burton into this big contract. He never really did much. He got released. They signed Taylor Gabriel after he was amazing in Atlanta. Hasn't really done much for them. I mean, Allen Robinson's been solid, but he hasn't been what we thought Allen Robinson was in Jacksonville. Anthony Miller has yet to make that jump. he's shown flashes. But same thing with David Montgomery. I mean, this guy is made out to be this really good running back last year. In reality, he just looked like a 4th-round running back. Tariq Cohen, he's a weapon, but he's not really that good as a starting running back. So it's a weird spot for him to be in. But I think Mitchell Trubisky's been unfairly put as the scapegoat because of who was drafted after him, which, you know, it's not under his control. I think that once their defense is back to where it was a couple years ago, Akeem Hicks is fully healthy and everybody, I think that Mr. Trubisky will be a lot better than that. But right now, I think he's the bottom of average, and he's possibly replaceable. But in my opinion, I think he's a little bit better than that. Mahomes, we don't even have to talk about him, dude. He's elite. He's at the top. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. No one's even close, and he's already got a Hall of Fame career. Andy Dalton going to Dallas. I mean, he's below average right now because he's backing up Dak, but I think that he could be a good fit in Dallas if Dallas decides to go away from Dak, which is weird. I thought he was going to go to New England and be their quarterback, but apparently they're really riding that sit-em train, so there's that. Russell Wilson is elite. There's no question about it at all. Russell Wilson is an elite quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback as well. Easy. And heck, while we're there, we might as well just get this guy out of the way too. Tom Brady's an elite quarterback. That's going to be all the elites for the list, but I mean, those guys are just legends. I mean, they've been doing it for such a long time. There's nothing really to say about it, so that's good. There was a stat today that I saw that was Russell Wilson's never even had an MVP vote garnered to him, which is insane because he's been such a good quarterback. Josh Allen is probably going to be all the way at the bottom. Josh Rosen is going to be at the bottom. Just really, he hasn't had a good career. I mean, yes, he's been put in unfortunate situations, but he hasn't even shown any flashes of being able to hold an offense with those situations. So if he was able to show some potential, maybe the teams would have stuck with him. But Miami's drafted somebody over him. Arizona's drafted someone over him, and I think now he's just going to be a backup for his career. And I didn't think he was that good at coming out of college. Personally, I didn't have him ranked that high, but you know, that's just another NFL career. Then we got Matt Stafford. When healthy, borderline elite. And people don't respect Matt Stafford for that. I get it. I really do. It's not the most sexy pick. He hasn't really had the best win-loss ratio with Detroit, but Detroit has sucked for a long time. The past few years, they've been pretty solid. I mean, he has looked really good. He's been able to sling the ball. He's been able to be accurate with it. They should have won that game in the playoffs against Dallas. I remember that. I mean, he's a very good quarterback. He is one of the best quarterbacks, in my opinion, when he's healthy. It's just he's not very healthy. I think that he's on par with where Dak is. Then we go to Ryan Tannehill, and Ryan Tannehill right now is borderline elite. He had an amazing year last year. I've liked Ryan Tannehill for a long time, but I did not even expect him to do as well as he did in Tennessee. I mean, once he got the job from Mariota, he never looked back. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He showed in the Pro Bowl. I mean, he brought them all the way to the AFC Championship game, where they unfortunately did fall to the Chiefs, but it was a close game for a little while. I mean, man, I can't wait to see what Tannehill does. And now he got paid like an elite quarterback too. I mean, he's borderline elite. Deshaun Watson also borderline elite, probably at the top of this list if possible. If it lets me put him there. There we go. He's the closest thing to elite as you're going to get. He's able to make that next step. I think he is almost an elite quarterback. Like literally, if we're basing on grades, he's at 89. He's right there, right by the 90. But I think he's amazing. I think that this year he probably will make that jump. Even without DeAndre Hopkins, we're going to have to see a lot more of what Watson can do, and I'm excited to see that. Then we got Carson Wentz. He's going to be at above average. The injuries have really plagued him to where he was once an elite quarterback, but he's just slowly fallen down because of injuries. He cannot get away from those injuries. He's made of glass. So he needs to try something and figure that out. But I think that he is one of the best quarterbacks we have when healthy. He's able to do some things that are very incredible to see, but he's really got to work on that. Dwayne Haskins, below average and replaceable. I'll probably put him around here. He just has not had it. When he was on the field, I mean, his first career touchdown was to Jabril Peppers for the Giants. I think he had five touchdowns, 5 interceptions last year. And they were bad interceptions. He was making bad reads, bad throws. He was not put in a good situation, and I get that. Jay Gruden was there, which was weird, and then whatever. But I mean, also, the Redskins didn't even want to pick him. It was just the president or the GM or somebody it was somebody in the organization. I think it was the owner wanted to pick him. No one else really wanted him. I personally didn't think he was going to be this bad at the NFL level. I thought he was going to be decent. I did think that other guys might be a little bit better than him, but I mean, this has been insane to see how poorly he's shown in the NFL level. And I think right now I'd probably pick Kyle Allen to start over him day one in training camp. So we'll see what happens, but I mean, he's a first rounder. He's got to try and show up, and right now it hasn't happened. There's a Mizzou quarterback here, and I've been thinking about it the whole time. I can't figure out who this is, so I'm gonna have to look that up real quick to see who this is. Okay, so now I've realized what happened. This is Case Keenum, number 4. We do know where Case Keenum is. He's down here. Everything I said about Drew Lock is exactly right. That's Drew Lock. When I was looking at Mizzou, I was like, man, Drew Lock's already on here. It's not Drew Lock. But it is Drew Lock. This is Case Keenum. Case Keenum, below average. Think he's going to be a good backup. Everything I said about Drew Lock is still there. He's just going to be the Mizzou quarterback there. And then we have Kyler Murray. This might seem crazy. I think he's borderline elite. I really do. He was hit a lot of times last year, but he was making great plays. He was a rookie of the year last year. I think this year, he's able to take that step to be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, he's got such a great offense around him. And when you look at what the Giants, what the Cardinals had last year, David Johnson was not trying to run the ball, so they had pretty much no run game. They had to use Chase Edmonds as good as they can. Even the receiving core was just not looking too hot last year. Christian Kirk missed some time, and they had a bunch of rookies who were just throwing people out there. There was no consistency in the offense, and he was still able to go out there and make plays to Demir Bird, like to these guys who should not be getting receptions in the NFL compared to who else is on the roster. So I think Kyler Murray is literally right up there with these guys. Could he be down here with above average? I think so. I think that he, at this moment in time, is probably right here, but I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's a borderline elite quarterback because I think that's what he is. I think this year he can become an elite quarterback, which is crazy to say, but I loved his rookie tape. And then we have Daniel Jones. Right now, I think he's an average quarterback. I love him. I think he's going to be great. I think he's a franchise guy, but as of right now, I mean, when you look at him, he's average. He hasn't shown anything to be like, wow, he's as good as Ben Roethlisberger or Carson Wentz. I don't see that. But he is very good at what he does. He's able to manage well. They had a pretty poor roster last year with all the injuries, Saquon being hurt, Evan Ingram being hurt, Shepard being hurt. But him and Slayton have a great connection. Offensive line's looking good. I think this is a year that Daniel Jones could definitely move up on the totem pole. But, I mean, looking at the tier list, I think this is going to be it. So, if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like on it. As I said, it really does help out the channel. And be sure to subscribe if you want more NFL content. Like I said, realistic rebuild of the Giants is going to be coming out soon, as well as the Madden 21 predictions for the X Factors is coming out as well. But like I said, if you did enjoy the video, please be sure to hit that like button. If you didn't, refresh the page, check it out again. Let me know what you think a second time. And without further ado, that is going to be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.